What's up guys, this is Shana and today we are going to check out or re-review Centura in Sentul. Let's go! Wow, busy morning. Sentul and a junction away, this will be Centura already. We will check this out when it was launching, and currently it's fully completed, sold out some more. Very good. And in first glance, right, you can see that the entrance statement is pretty solid, where this is a 20-year-old tree and the entire facade facing outwards gives you that very welcoming feeling. And that actually includes the treatment of this stretch of walkways. And there are also other initiatives where they preserve the existing tree that was on site and they replant them in the project. If you look into the entire stretch of this road, I personally divide it into two. One is before the school, one is after the school. But before the school, the roads are rather narrow. It's a very old infrastructure. After the school, this road seems wider and the infrastructure's levels are just way more sophisticated. And the profiles of buildings here, most are mixed development, where you have a row of shops in the front, then it's going to be an entrance right in the center to go into the residence. Only this that is full residential. So that's why you have this strong welcome statement. And now we are in the visitor car park. So you can see cement screening, you can see epoxy paints for pedestrian walkway. What's cool is this is one of those projects that kind of have the solution for visitors that uses EV facilities. Besides having an exclusive location for them, there's actually a to-do list for them to use their touch and go and scan, and they actually pay while charging. So it wouldn't be a burden to the maintenance team, like why am I paying for the guests to charge their car? Right? So this seems like a very practical solution. And the ceiling height for the car parks is 3.4. That is awesome, right? And you can see that they are using a flat step system, so everything is pretty tidy. And right at the entrance, this is where they replanted the 24 trees that they try to preserve. And this is like a island that really contradicts with the surrounding. So you kind of have that view like this in the center of the city. That's cool. And this is located right in front of the entrance, right in front of the lobby. Then coming into the guardhouse, the design team leveraged on the existing terrain on the site. So whatever downstairs is all going to be lower ground. It's not a basement, so that saves a lot of cost. And this will be the drop-off. Coming in, and this is just very welcoming. Then this landscape feature in the center becomes that connecting point from the nature. It's somewhat trying to bring those elements in to the project. So the drop off, you can see the tile floorings, and you have this very decorated lobby, and it's actually porous. It means, right, you're trying to leverage on the cross ventilation that's created. And if you notice, it's not an enclosed space that you require aircon. So this is also an effort to kind of control the maintenance costs. Cool. So right behind that feature wall, this will be the car park for residents. And you can see that the roads is kind of patchy lah. But it's for car park, so I guess it's fine, right? So they also have this kind of kiosk. These kind of features are pretty popular nowadays. These kind of van blocks. So from the drop off, this will be the entrance into the block. And there's still a very long walk to the lift lobby itself. So what they did is they tried to make the journey a little bit more enjoyable by making this space so beautiful. When you look at the lighting features, you look into the van blocks, and this is again an exercise to avoid the usage of air condition. So these are actually natural ventilated, connected to the car parks. So coming up via the lift, we are now in level 10 and we are at the facilities deck. You can actually hear there are a lot of kids playing around, and that will be the barbecue pit, halal and non-halal. There will be 2 gyms, one floating gym there, another one on the opposite. Look at the perimeter around the facility deck. The landscape treatments are rather dense, so this kind of forms that barrier to prevent kids from going over. This is rather unique. The white pebble wash surface in the pool makes the water color rather inviting. Then by having this apron that also serves as a sitting area at the side, it's a good buffer away from the public to the garden units right there. This is a very good treatment, like it's a very friendly treatment. And if I buy a garden unit, when I open up, right, I see greens first before I actually see people. And that will be the kids pool. Right opposite will be the adult pool. So something about the wading pool that is rather interesting, they have different depth for children of different age. That resonates with me as a parent, so that's really cool. And on the opposite, this will be the jacuzzi, done in a very organic manner, right next to the lap pool. And again, the color is very unique. And on top will be the floating gym. And the floating gym seems like a solution just to stack up space so you can utilize areas more efficiently, right? But because of the stilts design, it creates a whole different spatial quality at the bottom, and it's very fun. You can see some hammocks for people to just chill and relax. And you have a sunken deck as well. And right next to the pool, this will be the multi-purpose hall. You have 4 badminton courts in total, which is nice. You have the proper rubber mats. And the ceiling height is 9.2 meters, so I think it's decent. And you have the ventilation system on the top. You have air condition just in case you're going to throw a party or a gathering here. One of the floating gym, and all equipments are furnished by Techno Gym. Then as the gym is open on one side, you have all the cardio equipments facing somewhat the pool. I like this level because this is where I get to see all the foliage of the trees. Just imagine what we spoke about before, if you buy a level above the facility deck, when you open the windows, you're gonna have direct access to the foliage level. And that's amazing. And there's something about these landscape treatments that is very dense. And then at the corner, you will have a free weight zone and this full wall of mirror. Then at level 2 of the car park, there's this thing that is rather interesting. This is a laundry bar or a laundry room. This is done in a way where it really adds convenience to the residents. So instead of having a separate vendor, you guys will need to know that all earnings actually goes back to the MDC. So this will be under their management as well. And again, it's not air conditioned, so maintenance cost again is kept to a minimal. Also something to point out here, this is their very first building in their M Affordable Home series. Back then when the developer kind of launched this series where it's not a social house, it's not a requirement by government, but they want to provide homes within the affordable range, but still get to enjoy the living standards a little bit. And by visiting the facility decks, all these common areas, it's very hard to believe that back then this was sold for 300 to 500,000 only. So a level on top of the drop-off, right, there's this co-working space as well. This is rather new and it's a requirement that emerged these few years. It's free for all and free Wi-Fi is provided, and you can actually book the meeting rooms with the office. So that's really cool. And if you are still working from home, space might be a constraint in the unit, you can actually come here. And coming up from the lift, this seems rather bright because this is on a higher floor. The width of the lift lobby is 3 meters, height is 2.6, and there are 6 lifts in total, servicing 18 units. And the corridor is really bright because of the window size, so that's nice. And that will be their future project. So let's figure out whether can I go and ask for an episode there. But this is also the unfortunate truth about living in the CBD. Let's say if you did not make an informed decision, if you were to buy this block, then you'll be caught surprised by the construction of this. And from the lift lobby going into the main corridor, this is nice. This is a ramp. So so it eases the moving of stuff and it's more friendly for those in need. And the corridor width is 1.6 meters, ceiling height is 2.6 meters, and this will be the refuse. I think when Chris briefed me about the system 3 years ago, can it work, can it not work, you will have a lot of expectation about it, but after using this room has no smell because the refuse doesn't stay in the room. That also saves up a lot of maintenance costs because you don't need labourers to come in, pick up the rubbish, clean the room frequently. So that's pretty cool. You'll also notice the very extensive paint works. It's pretty obvious on the external facade, but for the internal facade as well, they are not cutting corners. So those are the spray paintings. It's even done up to the edge of the aircon slab. So this will be a double loaded corridor and you can hear a lot of renovation noise. And it's always a good thing. So in accordance to the management team, in 9 months time of VP, around 45 to 50% of people actually moved in already. So that's awesome, and I like that little detail across the aircon latch. It's a very inclusive thing to do to build the handrail. You know, right? Always the abang aircon, always need to move in, climb in through the window, and it's always not safe. I always don't feel very nice for asking them to do things. This actually solves that. Okay, so the unit that we're going to check out today will be Type B, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit. It's a very standard layout. It's a total of 850 square feet. Coming to the unit, there will be a kitchen space, then there will be a yard space at the side. This will be the dining, the living room, no balconies. They have 2 bedrooms here, and within their drawings it's important that you see that they purposely allocated queen size bed, so that indirectly indicates the size of it. And you have a common bathroom here, the principal bedroom along with its ensuite bathroom. Then you can see that the main rooms will enjoy the facade line, only this one that will be facing the void. Going into the unit, this will be the foyer space, just that it's too narrow for the shoe cabinet. And the door clearance is around 870 mm. On your side then will be the kitchen space already. So this is the exact units that is actually handed over to the customers. We have tile floorings throughout the unit, and you have a 1.5 meters wall tiles for the kitchen space. So pipings are provided, points are provided. So this width is 2.1 meters, and this will be the window and door into the yard space. This will be the location of the washing machine. I like the extra detail that they add a cover to this. Wow! And the door is actually located somewhat in the center of the space to again maximize that extra space at the side. So just imagine if this is located at the side, right? So this whole space will be wasted, but if you locate it in the center, somewhat this can be salvaged, and this can be your wardrobe corner. Then the wall-to-wall distance is 3.1 meters, the ceiling height is around 2.9, and it's very spacious. It's a very direct layout altogether, where you have your dining and your living here. Just that some may complain got no balcony, but I think it's a preference thing. If not mistaken, they will listen to all these, maybe implement in Arisa, I think, because it's just there. And you can really see the difference in terms of built environment between the old street and the new ones. And you can still see that these empty lands are going to be canvas for future developments. Then the only thing that I don't understand, why will be this box up? I don't see any requirements for it, but maybe if it's nothing inside, you can just do it yourself in the renovation process. But anyway, fan points and light points are actually provided, and this will be the corridors into the rooms. So this width is around 1.1 meters and the height is 2.35 meters. So the doors are 7 feet low. It's a rather direct layout. This will be a 1 bedroom facing the secondary facade line. The size is 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters. It's literally a square, and it's going to be rather dark because of the opening facing the internal voids. And they are providing laminated floorings, timbers, curtains, no aircon points, and this will be the second room already. And this room is slightly bigger, so this is 2.5 meters in width, 3.3 meters in length, and it also feels bigger because the daylight quality, and that will also affect the room rentals of different units. So this is going to be a classic example whenever like you go for KLCC view as your premium, right? If you didn't make a well-informed decision, things like this are going to happen. So you're going to have a new project that just hides away your USP. So please always take note. However, I see a lot of residents around the Leafs area, and I found out that the rental around here is around 1,600 to 1,008 for a 3-bedroom unit. Well, it differs in the conditions of the unit, but it's rather healthy if you were to buy this 3 years ago. Next to the room, this will be the common bathroom for the visitors and the 2 bedrooms. Full height wall tiles, no shower screen. You have a shower and a window connecting the void. You have Barreno for this and Barreno for your WC. And last but not least, this will be the principal bedroom, and how I wish that the window can be bigger. But let's not forget that this project is meant to be affordable. And it's very hard to believe that fact because of the common areas treatments. So you went to the facility decks, you went to the co-working space and all. You tend to forget that this is an affordable project. But anyway, wall-to-wall width is 2.9 meters, and this will be the space where you put in the queen-size bed, bedside tables. You can somewhat squeeze in a desk here still. Then this will be the wardrobe space, and going in, this will be the principal bathroom. Okay, so again, similar specs, Barreno for the sink and the WC, full height wall tiles, no shower screen. These are then rather simple and direct. I think that's all for the unit. It's now time for Sean's take 3 on 3. 3 things I really like. Number 1 would be the development of the Sentul address. It was only 3 years ago before all these were up. It used to be a kampong, it used to be a new village. But now when you come to the address itself, there are not only 1 but 2 McDonald's right opposite each other, and that indicates the maturity of population for this address. It's just that you will see a lot of upcoming projects, and that leads to a whole different conversation. Last time, people are not too sure whether can this area be developed, but now people are kind of talking about, hey, too many apartments at one go, will it straight away suddenly oversupply? The entire narrative changed in such a fast pace, and I find that very, very fascinating. Besides that, this location is also very close to the city, and it used to be this hidden spot that nobody noticed for a very, very long time. And personally, for this review, I'm very surprised with the development, especially in terms of the infrastructure, also the data and figures. Now, this project was fully sold, and the rental is very healthy, and that's actually point number 2, the value for money. This is the first completed project from their affordable series or something like that, and it's meant to be a free market product that is affordable instead of all those imposed by the government. This feels really different compared to the other affordable projects. Mainly it's because of the third thing which I really like. The common area treatments is beyond expectation. When I hear the price of 300,000 to 500,000, you kind of have the expectation, right? But when you come in, you're welcomed by this majestic tree, and there are initiatives behind those trees. They are replanted from the existing site just to preserve nature, and it gives a very different vibe altogether compared to the neighboring projects. Usually you see this birthday cake layout where you have commercials in the bottom, then you will have a one narrow entrance into the residence, these towers on top. It's somewhat like a birthday cake, and this layout is applied throughout the entire street. Only this is a little bit different. When you come in, you have this proper welcome statement through the guidehouse, and when you go into the drop-off, it's well decorated. And when you walk into the facilities, then you go into the pool, the wading pool, the badminton courts. Those are done really extensively. But my favorite of all would be within the details. If you look into the drop-off and the corridors to the lift lobby, right, they are done with the intent of minimizing maintenance costs. Also, there are a lot of different facilities that are more friendly to the management team. For example, the EV charging, the Adobe, and the portable kiosk within ground floor itself. All income generated from those things will be pumped directly into the MC. And that's great. And a very simple yet nobody do kind of detail will be the handrails and the aircon latch. It's not going to cost that a lot. It's not that complicated to do. All these design rules, right, are just very human-centric. Therefore, the three things I don't like, number one will be the current road system that is still using traffic light as their main way to control traffic. So when you have a lot of traffic lights, automatically congestion is going to happen. Especially when you have a lot of schools within this new village. And when you have a lot of cars here, noise also comes with it. Then the second thing that I don't like will be the micro elements. As you can see, there are still kampongs around and there are still a lot of empty lands around. So any moment of time, certain agreements will be made or certain deals will be done, and there will always be possibility for a new project to be launched around the area. So please be mindful whenever you pick a unit around the CBD area, especially the orientation that dictates your view. And last of all will be the density. So the density of the project itself, also the density of the address. But when we walk around the project, we see a lot of residents, so that's good. But more importantly, when you walk around the facility deck, when you walk around the unit or corridor, the feeling of spaciousness is still there. These are done with the intention of making this project affordable. So more units means per unit is going to cost less and more people are going to contribute to the maintenance cost. So it's a whole different design assignment altogether to host so many different families in one project. Therefore, you have the very luxurious facilities deck. So imagine if this is a rumah whip, there's no need to provide swimming pool, there's no need to provide badminton courts and all. This entire project is going to feel entirely different. And I think that's all for this project. Shout out again to Chris, which is the person that I learned all my marketing skills and knowledge from. It's always cool to revisit projects that we visited before and in real life, very close to what they indicate in all their renderings, and that's a very impressive thing to do. Do I like this project? This project is an on-stay project for most of the residents here, but in terms of investment, it also kind of makes sense. I sold out already what to do. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.